Hi everyone, it's Simon Keeling here, and it is Friday the 19th of April. Hope you're looking forward to the weekend. Just a reminder that the site, of course, is kept free of charge by the adverts you're seeing around the screen here, and by you coming back to the site using the adverts, it's that keeps us free of charge. So thank you for doing that. Now that all of the country's in slightly milder conditions, well, much milder compared to what we had a couple of weeks ago, I keep being asked the question, is that it? Is winter over? Well, don't forget, you can still get frosts right the way through to late May, early parts of June, so you can't rule out cooler weather, but it doesn't look as if we're going to see a return to the bitterly cold conditions that we had at the beginning part of April. Having said that, temperatures are going to be falling away during next weekend. You can see that here on the CFS here, this dip in temperatures around next weekend into the early parts of May, but the CFS still trying to build temperatures through the middle to latter parts of the month. So there are hints there of some warmer weather coming in, but also some colder snaps coming through next weekend. I don't think it's going to be anything too severe. It just looks like we lose several degrees off the temperatures. Now, just wanted to show you this chart first of all today. This is the Central England Temperature Series from the Met Office. And the Central England Temperature Series is pretty critical because it's used partly in global warming predictions. But in this case, it's just useful to use it as a measure as how cool or how warm it's been. Now, quite a complicated graph, but easy to understand. It takes us from January 2013, so from the start of the year. The black line you can see running down the middle there is the long-term running mean of the Central England Temperature Series going back to 1878. The light blue line here is the lowest recorded temperatures in the temperature record back to 1878, and the pink line here is the highest recorded temperatures back in the record back to 1878. Now, the blue line here, this navy blue line you can see going up and down here, that's the daily temperature series from the 1st of January this year. And you can see how it went up and down and how we dipped so close, look, to the minimum here during the latter part of March and into the early part of April. But then look what's happened. We've seen this rise take place during the last few days. It's taken us now up into what we call the top 10th percentile. So it's starting to get into the almost close to the warmest top 10 of this beginning part of April in the temperature series. So it just shows you how temperatures can vary through the spring months. Fascinating to see that chart, I think. Now, another one I've been looking at as well is the Arctic sea ice extent, and this is the area of ocean covered by at least 15%. Of course, Arctic sea ice is going to become important this year, given the rapid cooling, the rapid melting that took place last year. And what we've got here, two lines. This is only going back to 1979, so you do have to bear that in mind. But the grey line here, this is the 1979 to 2000 average. We've got last year's here marked as a dashed line, and then this year is marked in blue here. So you can see again we're well below average, and not only that, but we're below the amount of sea ice that we had at this time last year. So we're well below where we should be. And if we look at temperatures, this is temperatures, mean temperatures north of 80 degrees north. This is the running mean through here, the green line, and the red here is actual temperatures. You can see how they're above normal, so no surprise that there's less ice at the Arctic than there should be. However, don't panic just too much yet, because if we look at Antarctica, this is the same chart for Antarctica, the area of ocean with more than 15% of sea ice. And here's the long-term mean from 1979 here. Here's last year as the dash graph, but here's this year, look, as the light blue line. And notice how that's above normal and above where it was last year. So although we've got this decrease at the Arctic, there's an increase down at the Antarctic. Read into that what you will. I'm going to make no judgments on that during this recording, because of course we're talking about forecasts here. So this is how things shape up. This is the chart for tomorrow. Tomorrow looks like being a lovely day on Saturday. High pressure across the country. I think there will be some cloud around, and it could feel relatively cool with that cloud. But sunny spells, and where the sun comes through, it'll feel very pleasant indeed. More cloud around for northern and western parts of Scotland, for the western parts of Ireland as well. But generally, it looks as if it should be a dry and fine day. Just light winds. Southwesterlies probably blowing at around 5 to 10 miles an hour in the south. That's around a force 2 to force 3. Nearer around about 10 to 15 miles an hour, southern Scotland, parts of central Ireland, that's about a force 3 to force 4. I think generally around 15 to 20 miles an hour, or even more across northern and western Scotland and western Ireland, so up to a force 5 there. And then into Sunday, the high pressure slips off towards the east here. We've got this cold front that's dragging its way eastwards. That's going to be bringing an area of rain, look, through Scotland, through eastern parts of Ireland, through West Wales. And that's going to be bringing some pretty hefty bursts of rain in that area. That whole feature will move its way eastwards during the day. However, most of England and Wales should be staying dry and fine for much of the day with good spells of sunshine. That rain then comes into the west and the north in the afternoon, but showers follow into Western Ireland. Winds southwesterlies generally blowing around 10 to 15 miles an hour, so we're looking at a force 3 to a force 4. Higher in the west, probably getting up to around 20 miles an hour or a force 5, and then turning westerly as the front goes through. Then into Monday, the cold front has cleared its way eastwards as a very, very weak feature on Monday morning. Then we find most places dry and bright and cool. A further front, though, comes into Western Ireland, to Western Scotland, through Ireland during the course of the afternoon. Some pretty strong winds across northern Western Scotland again, and fairly wet towards the north and the west. For most, though, it should be a dry day with sunny spells, best of them through central and eastern areas. Then into Tuesday, a warm front lying across more northern parts of the country. I think that's going to have the effect of bringing low cloud and drizzle across many of these western coasts and hills. Elsewhere, I think it's just broken cloud, 1 or 2 showers around, but essentially it is going to be dry once again with lighter winds and feeling fairly warm. And then on Thursday, high pressure down to the south, got this front that's affecting more northern areas. I think this basically marks the dividing line between some cloud and rain across northern and western Scotland, northern and western Ireland. Some low cloud running up these western coasts too of Wales and northwest England, some drizzle there. But for most of the country, it is going to be a dry day. Any cloud breaking in the morning, sunny spells coming through, becoming very warm as well. Could be looking at temperatures of 20 or 21 degrees in the sunshine. And then just to take you a little bit further forwards, this is the position on Thursday. Again, you see this rain kind of lying through southern Scotland, northern parts of Ireland, thanks to that front, but very mild down towards the south. Again, we could be looking at 21 or 20 degrees. And then we'll find as we head in towards Friday, weak area of low pressure develops. The front gets a little bit more active. It starts to develop, swings its way eastwards overnight. And then through Friday itself, we'll probably find a frontal system something like that, moving its way eastwards, taking some shower outbreaks of rain with it, and more importantly, look, bringing this cooler northerly wind, which we've been hinting at for next weekend. So I think a rise in temperature taking place, and then that dip off next weekend as the cooler weather arrives. In terms of total rainfall, then again, it's going to be these more northern and western areas that see most. You can see they're generally looking at 25, perhaps up to 50 millimetres of rain, but more across western parts of Scotland. Far less elsewhere, a typical 5 to 10 millimetres through the week. Very, very little rain affecting southern and eastern areas here. I think we'll be looking at 2 to 5. And then just finally, for you, quick look at how the ensemble sees things progressing. This is the mild weather look coming in during the middle part of next week. This is the temperature fall off next weekend. You see it stays cooler into the week after, but it is hinting at temperatures starting to pick up a little bit during the bank holiday weekend period in here. And despite going cool, there will be some rain around, but we should find rainfall figures tending to ease off as we head towards the bank holiday weekend, or at least that's the hope anyway. So I know there's been loads and loads of information for you, just what you want on a Friday afternoon. But listen, thanks again for watching weatherweb.net. Don't forget, as I said before, we're all kept free of charge by the adverts that you see around the screen here. So thank you for coming back and using the adverts and for using the charts. Feedback all the time is welcome. You can do that via the comments section on the website, or you can email me directly at simon@weatherweb.net. Once again, thanks for watching and keep the sun shining. Bye for now.